there's major changes in the pipeline for the taxi industry. Over 60,000 taxis will be scrapped by 2024 as part of the Taxi Recapitalization Programme. This program is part of government's efforts to transform and modernize the face of public transport. Well, let's get the view now of the South African National Taxi Council. That's Antako. I'm speaking to Thabiso Molelekwa. Tate Molelekwa, good afternoon, and thank you very much for your time. This issue of recapitalization of the taxi industry has been going on for quite some time. It's been spoken about for quite some time. 2024 is not far away. What are your thoughts? Can we just begin there? I mean, it's like, finally. Are you thinking like that?
Well, true, Braden. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers. Indeed, maybe one must just indicate that the taxi industry does support the Taxi Recapitalization Programme. It was one of the issues that were raised at the National Taxi Lekgotla, and the industry overwhelmingly, resolved that the Taxi Recapitalization Programme must continue. More so that there is an empowerment component that is attached to the Taxi Recapitalization Programme as part of government's initiative to empower the taxi industry.
Now, if you're welcoming it, what form are you visualizing for the future? My intro here, I said over 60,000 taxis will be scrapped. I guess they won't meet the new standards that you'll be setting for the future.
Braden, part of our issues that we have always raised with government was that taxi recapitalization must speak to two things for it to be a successful program in the taxi industry. One, it must address, the issue of financing for those operators who would want to continue with taxi business. And secondly, also, it must be such that, the scrapping allowance does allow or make the conditions favorable for the operators to be able to come to this. And this is why this taxi recapitalization program is different from its predecessor. And now here,
Mr. Molelekwa, I think his connectivity there has gone. Apologies. Are you there? Are you there, sir? Are you there?
I'm still here, Braden. Can you hear me?
Okay, we lost you there for a while. You were explaining there were two parts. There's a financing part, and what's the second part?
The second part was the scrapping allowance, which was quite important to ensure that enables the financing of a vehicle to ensure that operators qualify.
So these 60,000 taxis are going to be helped. There will be money for them. The allowance will be given.
Well, of course, there is an allowance of about 100 or just over 120,000 per scrapped taxi, but now you need to connect that to an easy financing scheme, which is what government indicated that this current taxi recapitalization program must be able to address. And this is why, as equity partners in the company, we want to ensure that that condition that government has attached is successfully met.
That's a lot of money, eh? 60,000 taxis at 120,000 a pop. That's a lot of money.
It is, but when you look at the whole new taxi, for instance, Braden, you'd realize that a new taxi is about 500,000, and when you look in the next 2 years, that is likely to be more. So when you put a deposit of 120,000, you've actually not done any dent to the debt that you would be owing.
That is why.
That is why.
That is why the first part is about financing. So you want government to help you negotiate with the banks for better terms.
It enables operators to go back into business without.
No. I said, am I correct? Am I correct, Mr. Muller, that you want government to help you to negotiate better terms of financing those taxis that will be recapitalized? Is that why you're putting it on the table?
Look, yes, Braden, and the reason why I said that is because this is what we've raised in the previous dispensation of taxi recapitalization. And in this current dispensation, what government has done, they've attached a condition to the appointment of the new partner who will provide the taxi recapitalization project to ensure that financing is also addressed to ensure that there is, easy accessibility.
Are you happy with what's on the table as the taxi industry current? Are you happy?
Well, government has given the taxi industry 60% of the total Taxi Recapitalization Programme company, which is quite a significant percentage. What remains, however, the burden on the side of the industry is to ensure that not only do taxis scrap, but the project itself continues in perpetuity to ensure that these old vehicles continue to be.
No, I think we're going to have to leave it there. Sorry, we tried. I mean, first time we got back, we got the connectivity. Apologies for that, Ntate Molelekwa. Your connectivity again has frozen. That's Thabiso Molelekwa speaking on behalf of the South African National Taxi Council, Sentaco. It's seemingly, I mean, they are part of this 60% ownership of this new recapitalization program. The financing side is being dealt with, as he said, and then of course that scrapping allowance. But 120,000 rand. Over 60,000, you do the math yourself, over 60,000 taxis are going to get that allowance.